In this video, I'll walk you through the O2C-14 third-party order processing workflow. The process begins when we receive a customer order. Instead of fulfilling it from our own warehouse, we create a corresponding purchase order with a vendor. The vendor then ships the goods directly to the customer. This is known as the third-party delivery process. The key benefit of this approach is cost efficiency. Since the goods are shipped directly from the supplier to the customer, there's no need for us to hold inventory or manage storage in our own warehouse. Before we begin, let's review a few points on the diagram. First, you'll notice something called supplementary apps. These are additional or optional SAP apps that can be used alongside this process. Each supplementary app is briefly described on the diagrams, so if you ever need to perform these extra actions, you can refer them here. Next, in the process diagram, yellow boxes represents SAP apps, while white boxes represents tasks performed outside the SAP system. For the prerequisite, material, pricing, and business partner master will need to be configured in the SAP system. Let's start the at the time of order entry section of the flow. To begin the flow, the customer sends a purchase request to the sales administrator. If a new quotation is needed, go to the O2C-1 quotation request flow. The flow can also begin from O2C-4, S2C1, and P2P4 workflow. In most cases, no quotation changes are required, so the sales administrator creates a sales order with order type CB1 or CB2. CB1 requires a shipping notification, but CB2 does not require a shipping notification. This choice will determine the path of the business scenario later on. After creating the sales order, the sales administrator can use the Track Sales Order app to check for any credit check errors. If there is a credit check error, use the Manage Documented Credit Decision app to release the block. If there is no credit error, proceed to the My Inbox app to approve the purchase requisition. At this stage, the system automatically generates a purchase requisition based on the sales order. The next step is to convert this purchase requisition into a purchase order using the Process Purchase Requisition app. Once created, the purchase order must be approved by a purchase approver. Let's start the at the time of supplier shipment section of the flow. The purchase representative sends a purchase order to the vendor. The vendor ships the goods directly to the customer based on the details in the purchase order. The customer then inspects the delivered good. Now let's start the at the time of invoice confirmation section of the flow. Here, the process diverges depending on whether a shipping notification was required in the sales order. If it was without shipping notification CB2, the supplier sends an invoice to the purchasing representative. The purchasing representative records the supplier invoice in SAP, creating an accounts payable entry since the company needs to pay the vendor. If it is with shipping notification, the goods did not enter the company's warehouse. However, a goods receipt must still be posted for logistical confirmation. After posting MIGO, the purchasing representative records the supplier invoice in SAP. This step also creates an accounts payable entry. The invoice is then reviewed and approved by an accountant using the My Inbox app. Finally, the flow goes into O2C2 built to customer for customer invoicing. This is the end of the O2C-14 third-party order processing workflow.